bit windy. And just like an idiot, I'm going to fish into the wind because that's where the food's going to be going. It's not going to be an easy day just because of the wind. Let's hope the fishing is good. I think videoing is going to be difficult today. Sean over there, morning Sean. I'm going to be fishing into this corner, just between me and that sapling, about halfway, and hopefully get some in. I've put some meat in, some mussel, which is a good bait here, and some sweet corn. I'm going to fish in there, probably with float, but with a heavy rod setup, and see how it goes.
My first put in, and my drag's being used. Has it snagged me up? Possibly has. I think it may have snagged me up. Just keeping the pressure on, see if it comes out. Might still be on. Might still be on. It's just gone into a lot of weed. Oh, heck of a lot of weed. I don't know if there's a fish in there or not. I really can't tell. But we'll soon know.
It's exciting in a short-lived way. I'm only fishing a 9-pound line on this rod. I'm after tench. I've gone straight into a carp and it's taken me straight into the reeds. So yeah, fish 1, fill 0. It's a pole, but I'm basically fishing it as a whip now because the wind is so strong when I've got it out there. It's getting pulled around everywhere. So that's a bit disappointing. But I'm going to fish a line. I've got worm on at the moment. I might fish a line just with maggot close in, keep myself busy. ADHD. Been here for less than an hour, I have, and Sean's had enough. I've been fishing for about 35 minutes. He's had enough of this wind. So much of this wind, I've had to put a second rod out, feeder rod, maggot feeder. I'm just going to sink the tip and see if I get anything on that. Might touch ledger, I don't know. Not a good day. Drop for a minute, so I'm going to take advantage and tell you what I'm doing. I've changed over to a method feeder, where I was fishing for tench before. Swapped the meat, put some mussel on, put that with the method, and the rod here is a feeder rod I've got out with a maggot feeder on, just hoping for anything. I'm fishing opposite myself into just in front of that reed bed, which is usually a decent spot. So yeah, it's hard going in this window. Couldn't hold the pole still. Couldn't do a lot, to be honest. It was pretty dire. Hopefully things improve now. Bite of a maggot feeder. I think there might be fish on. It doesn't want any. Ooh, nice fish, lovely perch. You get that
Massive,
out.
5 or 6 ounce. Big old mouth on it.
Rain through, got a new guy set up down the bottom, and I've had nothing else. I've had a couple of bites on the maggot, but I think they're just roach struck rudd, just taking the one maggot, sucking it dry and not managing to hit them. Though I did read an interesting piece by Keith Arthur during the week on one of the Facebook groups where he was saying you actually need to keep your line slack for roach bites because they're so sensitive, which I've never done. And once it pulls the slack line, it'll just carry on and take the rest, which makes some sense. So maybe I should try that. Maybe that will be what I do next. Certainly fish about. When the wind drops, it's quite pleasant. It's just the wind keeps coming through an absolute hootie, and then it's really hard to fish. Presentation's nearly impossible. There's fish down here, just under where I am. it's far from rubbish. They're just not biting my baits. I think there's a lot of natural food in them. Maybe that's it. Obviously I'm sick that I missed that carp at the start, but I just wasn't told up for it. Anyway, we'll keep persevering.
Pole, and obviously the wind picked up as soon as I did. But got a little perch.
Back up, and there's another good perch. We'll get it straight back.
Got some a decent roach. That'll be the last fish of the day for me. Time to pack up. But hope you've enjoyed it.
It was meant to be the last fish, the last one, but I've just caught this. Literally, I was just tidying up another rod and put this in. And this is on the feeder. It's a rudd. Beautiful. Actually, a golden rudd. Didn't realise there were any in here. So stunner. We'll get that one back. Sheltered here. My quest for a tench this season goes on. I'll have to try again. We are Batley's Pond. I'm just put in. I can't get the float to settle. We're fishing worm. Chopped worm. The main reason is this rod, which I put laying on, hoping for a tench. Because I'm not doing well in the tench sessions this season, and I really want one. So I was here the other day. It was okay. I started catching well at the end, but I need to give my confidence a boost. So I'll come back, and that float needs reshotting. Well, still not a tench, but a rudd caught on the drop. With worm is everything likes worm, so I keep feeding the worm in. Just had an indication on that rod. So I'm hoping there's the carp up in that top corner. I'm hoping that something will happen. And preferably not a carp, given my disastrous results the other day with one. So this float has dipped and moved into a different position. I don't know if I've still got a bait on, so I'm gonna get it out. Just had a proper bite on the yellow one and I missed it. Yay! I struck, but there was nothing there. We just dropped the bait as I struck. Bait had gone, rebaited. Well, the float's getting played with. It's been taken out to slightly deeper water. I think there's something again. Nothing there when I struck. This is getting infuriating. I think it's small stuff picking up the piece of worm and just heading off with the worm, not getting anything in there. Big old piece of lobby there. I'm getting indications again. Yep, it's gone. Just had another with a really nice rudd from here on the worm. Not a tench, however. Nice fish, lovely fight. Right. Well, it's not the tench I wanted. It fought quite a bit at first, so I thought it might be. It's a beautiful crucian. Only my second of the season, so certainly not unhappy with that. And it's my first from Batley's for this season. I'll get it in. Have a quick look at it. There we go. Beautiful crucian. I'll get that back. There we go. Gorgeous crucian. I'll get it. I'm into the last 15 minutes, but safely in the net anyway. Nice. I'm being spoiled. Another golden rudd. I think it's only the second one I've had. It ain't that beautiful. I had one last week or the other day, and then this one. Really happy. Well, it's just about the end of this little short session. It's just an hour. Got to go back now and sort out kids. They're on holiday this week, so I've got to get them off to the various events and friends, etc. So that float is sat on the bottom. That is shot, so it just shows, but it's obviously sat on some weed or something. Well, I'll just fish off these two baits. See if I get a bite and go from there. Well, big hook, big bait, not that big roach. Never mind. Time for me to go, I think, and come back and try again when I get another chance in the morning. Don't know what this is. Went off like a shot, so it could be a tench, it could be a small carp. It's a carp. Well, just as I'm leaving, the fish are really coming on the feed now. So, a little bit more time next time, I think. Get this in. Nice F1, pushing a pound. I don't think it's quite there, but yeah, lovely fish, but not the tench I'm wanting. Well, this is the third day of I Must Catch a Tench, and I've just had a fish on and lost it. Turned up, I've got the same peg as before, chopped worm over here, chopped worm over here. That float is resting because it is totally down on the bottom if it isn't, but you can see there's tench bubbles around, there's fish about. Well, first fish of this morning, but not what I wanted, perch. Still after that elusive tench. Just as I'm landing the tench, I got a bite on the bigger rod, so it's gone. I suspect the bait's gone. I'll have to check. I remember if I said earlier, but I've only got 40 minutes today, so desperate to make the most of it. I've got that float over there resting on the bottom, resting on some weed, I suspect, because it's shotted slightly under depth, and this one just off that reed bed with chopped worm around both of them and worm on the hook. Nothing clever, but I'm still hopeful. Big hook, big bait, big rod, small fish yet again. Right, so we're at one roach, 2 perch so far. Been here for 30 minutes. Got a few minutes left. Let's see if anything else comes up. Well, another roach. Still not got that tench. Well, that's my 40 minutes up. Slightly gutted. Still haven't had the tench. Got to come back again. Not that I'm gutted to come back again. I do enjoy it. We'll get this one back and head off. Guy on the first peg looks like he's just had a nice tench. Still after this tench, come down. I've got a bit more time this morning, so I've baited over here. I think there's some dead maggots floated to the top that those fish are after. Bear that in mind for later. There's a lot of activity this morning, but there's nobody else on the water. It's just after 6. And down here, I've gone back to the method feeder with a float, which I know sounds weird, but it just seems to work in this pond. I see the bites way before I get a pull round from a carp. It may just be that tench that I want. I've got meat on this one, worm on the other, and I'll be alternating between worm and dead maggot on the other, I think. See what goes on. Absolutely glorious down at the pond this morning. It's got that little tip of the float there. And then we've got fish all over. It's lovely this morning. There's one next to my foot. Something going on with that meat. Could be just knocking it. It's got a method feeder on it under, so something could be feeding on that. There's definitely movement around there. It could be little fish just taking the food off the method feeder. I don't want to get too excited yet. Ubiquitous perch on the worm. Get it back. Slightly larger perch, but not much larger. Hopefully some bigger stuff will come in. First roach of the day on the worm, but tiny again. Well, it was a better fish on the worm. I don't know if it's still on. Oh yeah, it's still on. Let's see if we can land this one. I'm hopeful this is my tench. I am hopeful. It's gone straight into the weed, and it looks like a tench. Oh, that's short. Very chunky tench.
full of spawn. I'll get her back and yeah, ASAP. How pregnant that tench is. It should normally be 3/4 of a pound, but if you just look at the size over there, she's over a pound. But she's going back now.
Chuffed, caught my tench. It's taken me a few hours, but done it. And now I'm going to enjoy the rest of my fishing and see how the days go. I can change around from just fishing bottom because there's a lot of stuff on the surface. But I wasn't going to get a tench up there. I might leave one rod out for the bottom, any carp or tench, and I might fish shallow for the other because there is so much near the surface. See what that's the end of my quest to get my first tench of the year. Over the moon, beautiful morning to finish it. It's been a few hours, about 5 in total, but I've had one, and now I can get on with enjoying the rest of the season and see what comes. But that was fun. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Thank you. Tight lines.